What's crackalackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so we're back again, once again with the mock where I take someone else's mock draft and I mock it. I give you my thoughts and my opinions on it. And today we're looking at the Draft Network's Joe Marino. And a quick shout out to Benjamin Solek. He used to write for the Draft Network. He was always a good read. He's on his way to the ringer. Congratulations to him. But today we're looking at Joe Marino's 2022 NFL mock draft. I know the draft, it's early out, but it's really fun to take a look at some of these mocks and just get an idea of what some of these evaluators and scouts are looking at right now, who they're looking at, and it gives us guys to keep an eye out for during the college football season. But go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and get in. I have yet to go through this, so this ought to be a ton of fun. I'm looking for where he says he used Vegas betting odds, but no. So the order is determined by the reverse Super Bowl odds, courtesy of Bet Online. So if you got a problem with the order, you know who to blame. Bet Online right here. All right, so he's got the Houston Texans going Spencer Rattler. That's kind of an easy one. Let's be honest. Texans, they're picking first overall. They're probably going to get a new quarterback. That's just the case. And for a lot of people, it's Spencer Rattler. And then continuing, the New York Jets here at 2. They go Derek Stingley. I got no problems with that. I wouldn't mind maybe if you go Thibodeau with this pick. But I get it. Their secondary is in grave need of some help. Is that how you say it? Dire need of some help. But let's keep this train going. Stingley's easily, I think, the top corner. By the way, my positional rankings, I'm recording those tonight, so you're gonna get a ton of them coming out this week. On top of that, I'm doing some of my other deep dives as well to kind of like round out those two series. So let's continue. We got the Detroit Lions going Kayvon Thibodeau. Because I mean, their best pass rushers are Romeo Okwara, and I think he's more of a number 2. And then they also have Trey Flowers, who's very versatile, but I think I'd still rather a guy like Thibodeau, who you could honestly kick into like a 5 or a 3 tech on some cases. But yeah, I don't mind the Lions going pass rush. Help that young secondary out. Jacksonville Jaguars got Kyle Hamilton. I think this is pretty early. Just because safety position's kind of devalued, but it's like low-key one of the more valuable positions in the league. But Kyle Hamilton, he's very versatile. Like, I wouldn't mind dropping him in the slot or on the outside either way. So it gives him a very versatile piece to that secondary. So I don't mind that one bit. Let's keep this going. Evan Neal going to the Bengals. I think a lot of people, like, low-key, I don't get it why they're not high on Evan Neal. Like, he's a wonderful athlete for a guy his size. And yeah, I think he's like easily the top tackle in this league. The guy's just a mammoth of a human being. It's hard to get around him to begin with. But when you add that type of athleticism, like go look up, I think it was on Instagram or Twitter, one of his, on his profile of him doing jumping lunges on boxes. It's insane. But yeah, the Bengals, they get a tackle. You could keep Jackson Carman on the inside there. He's starting left tackle, and then Deontay Smith's kind of made is probably going to be a guard of the future. Trey Hill's the center of the future, essentially, if those guys pan out. And then the Philadelphia Eagles go Andrew Booth, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm gonna probably be. I haven't listed him in my past rankings because I didn't check him out. I did, and he is definitely first round worthy, man. The guy is just a stupid good athlete. He's mad fast. Probably like, because to kind of like throw my rankings out there, really the only guys contending for this cornerback 2 spot in the draft right now, I think, is Andrew Gardner, or Ahmad Gardner, excuse me, Sauce Gardner, I'm a big fan. Khair Elam, and you could throw Trent McDuffie in there, but I think he's a bit more of a zone heavy type of player. So I think Booth is definitely in the running with those guys. So yeah, I don't mind the Eagles trying to address that. Didn't they bring Steven Nelson into town? I mean, still, regardless, they could. Yeah, they did start him opposite Steven. What? Oh, they're saying Darius Slay is the projected Steven Nelson's the projected starter opposite Darius Slay. I was about to say, I was like, yo, they forgetting Slay. Hold up. But yeah, I mean, Steven Nelson, he's not a long-term answer, so I don't mind it. The New York Giants going Drake Jackson, and I kind of went down a little too far, but it's all right. I like this. Drake Jackson, like especially if he's way more consistent. The problem is his high-end play is too few and far between. He's also a guy that could fill a variety of different roles. Like they've used him on the interior before there at USC. He has experience as a stand-up pass rusher, so he is a very versatile piece for the Giants. He's probably not going to be my edge 2 when it comes around, just because again consistency should matter, and we just need to see it from him. And then the Raiders, they go DeMarvin Leal. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm in love with Leal, dude. Guys his size just don't move like he moves. He's 290, great movement skills, uses his hands extremely well. I'm just a big fan of his game. Raiders snag him here. He doesn't have to necessarily be an interior guy. He's a guy that can line up on the edge. He's very unique in that regard. I would say he's very J.J. Watt-esque in that regard. So, yeah, I like him. He's definitely a top 10 pick, maybe a top 5. Carolina Panthers go Jackson Kirkland. Wow, their rankings kind of mirror mine in some regards. So they get a tackle to anchor the left side because they got Moton on the right side. Cool with that. Kirkland, he didn't get the full season last year because the Pac-12 was kind of dumb. But last year was his first year at left tackle. He did a wonderful job, and it's just unfortunate. He probably would have declared last year if he did get that full season. Guy's real good. You kind of worry about his anchor a little bit, but I think he'll be fine. The Atlanta Falcons go Sam Howell. Oh, man, yeah, I didn't even mention quarterback when it came to, like, the Eagles, the Giants, shoot, even the Lions. Oh, dude, Sam Howell, I'm gonna say it right now, dude. He's a lot closer than people think when it comes to how far, like, how close he is to Spencer Rattler. Howell's wonderful, dude. Dude's got a banger arm. Like, he's just slings the ball so well downfield. I'm a huge fan, very high on him. I think he's definitely worth the top 10 pick at this point. Let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest and the best place to go play fantasy football for big cash prizes. Ooh, wee. And let me tell you, Underdog, they got you covered. All you have to do is draft. No need to worry about injuries, waivers, or lineups. Underdog, they got you covered. So go online or use the app, which is pretty slick, and just draft a season-long best ball team, and they take care of the rest. No in-season management required. And they're willing to give you $25 when you sign up so you can take a shot in their $1 million fantasy football tournament, or you can play in some other best ball leagues, or even make prop bets. Now, you get that free $25 on Underdog when you use the promo code BROSHMO. It's free to sign up, so use promo code BROSHMO. Bam, you get your $25 once you make your first deposit. So drop $1 in there, bam, you got $26. You big spender, y'all baller. But go ahead, support Underdog. It helps me out. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. And if you're looking for more fantasy content from me, check me out on TikTok at Broshmo. The link's in the description below. And then the New York Giants via the Chicago Bears go with Kenyon Green, and they list him as offensive lineman, which is fine. He's going to be the left tackle this season there at Texas A&M, but he was playing left guard the previous season. Regardless where you want to put him, man, I don't think if I was getting him this high, I don't think I would stick him at guard. I would probably keep him at tackle, just because tackle's way, way, way more valuable than an interior offensive lineman. But if I was gonna go interior offensive lineman, I might go Tyler Linderbaum. If I saw Kenyon Green as a guard, then I would I would have Linderbaum ahead of him. I'm a big Linderbaum fan. And you could always move Nick Gates to guard. So I mean, you bring Green in, and they really are, I suppose he really does view Green as a guard here because he's bringing up guys like Will Hernandez, formerly the former Giant in Zeitler, however you say it. So the third quarterback off the board here for the Washington football team being Matt Corral. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I talk a lot with Alex from the Hail Mary podcast, and go check out his YouTube channel, man. The dude's a wealth of knowledge, man. But he's a big fan of Corral, with the understanding that Matt Corral, his high end is extremely good. It's just he's a streaky passer. Like, he'll have these banger games, then bam, 6 interceptions against Arkansas, 4 interceptions against LSU. We just need to see those very ugly games gone. Surprised that Malik Willis isn't the third guy here, but regardless, I mean, Matt Corral, I guess he is kind of Ryan Fitzpatrick-esque. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers go Darion Kinyard, tackle out of Kentucky. I don't think this man's going to be a tackle when it comes to the NFL. Just he doesn't have a lot of true pass sets to his name. Kentucky, they run a lot of like they're an outside zone blocking scheme type of team, but they run a lot of play actions. There's a lot of movement, jet sweeps. So he's not seeing a lot of true pass sets there. I really do think Kinyard at his size probably ends up on the outside. Like, while he's a good athlete for his size, I don't think he's good enough to last out there on the edge. So I'm not in love with this pick, and that I don't have Kinyard as a first rounder. So, and then the Arizona Cardinals go Trent McDuffie. I don't like the fit here. I don't like the fit. McDuffie, I think, needs to be in a very, very zone-heavy scheme. And while there's elements of that in Arizona, not enough for me to value him over, Elam and Gardner are still on the board, right? Yeah, they're still on the board. Yeah, I just feel like they probably fulfill, or they're just better fits for the Cardinals' coverage scheme. But I'm a big fan of Trent McDuffie. Sees a lot of zone there at Washington, but dude's wonderful. He I think is probably a first rounder. And then this is probably one of my favorite picks, man. New Orleans Saints, they go Chris Olave. They just haven't had that burner. They brought in Traquan Smith a few years ago, and he's never developed into that vertical threat, whether it's from the outside or the interior. Like we've seen flashes of it, but not enough consistency. So I like the Saints coming in here, bringing in Chris Olave to really complement Michael Thomas. Olave is great. First receiver off the board here. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, this pick via the Dolphins, you're welcome. They go George Karlaftis out of Purdue. Now, for me, Karlaftis, he needs to have a year that resembles his rookie or his freshman season. Sophomore year, man, he was kind of, I know he was beat up, but I just want to see that he's the same player because he's this power rusher. And for him to get the type of pressure that he did there in the Big Ten, very impressive. So I want to see him come and do it again this year. So I don't know if he'd be my third edge off the board. But the Eagles grabbing another edge, I don't know about that. I think they have bigger needs, but what? They already went corner. They didn't go quarterback yet, did they? They went corner, and they haven't had another pick because... Oh, they're probably going to... Oh, don't tell me they're going to give the Colts the Eagles pick. I mean, that might actually ring true with Carson Wentz now beat up, so who knows? But, yeah, I mean, I think Karlaftis' game will translate well, though. The Los Angeles Chargers go John Mechie III out of Alabama. I don't think, for me, Mechie, I know the Alabama boys, they've been pushing out... They've done consecutive seasons of 2 receivers in the first round. I don't know if they get a guy in the first round here. I know Mechie would probably be that guy if it happens, but a lot of his game is, I think he's easily the worst of the 4 other guys, being Ruggs, Judy, Smith, and Waddle, because he's a good vertical separator, but dude, against more physical receivers, he just gets put out of the play. Like, Martin Emerson shut this guy down. That's a guy, hopefully, maybe his name pops up here. I'm a big fan of Martin Emerson. But also, like, you got Allen. Mike Wallace, yeah, he might not stick around. He's on that 1 year. So, but they also just brought in Josh Palmer. They have some other guys there too that aren't bad. I think you could go elsewhere if you're the Chargers. And then the Denver Broncos go Jordan Battle. And yes. I don't mind this because I do get that they're looking for the replacement for Kareem Jackson. Jordan Battle is wonderful, dude. He is definitely a top 20 prospect. I'm actually wrapping up my safeties currently, my safety rankings, and I'm a big fan of Battle's game. He's very versatile in what he can do. He doesn't necessarily have to be in the box or playing deep. You could play him on the outside or in the slot. He kind of plays that star role for Alabama. But Malik Willis is still on the board. Maybe he's just not high on Malik Willis or any of the other quarterbacks because they need a quarterback. And then going on to the Tennessee Titans, they go Jaleel Billingsley out of Alabama. The thing with him, because I don't mind the pick, it's just we haven't seen enough of him. Like, he looked good as it looked like he's going to be a solid receiving tight end. He's a guy that he's got good size when it comes to his height and whatnot. The ball skills look like they're there. I think he has a body that can be a solid blocker. It's just we've only seen 300 some snaps from him. That's it. So I think this has to be a bit projection on Joe Marino's part here. Tennessee, though, going tight end, I would still be addressing the defense. George Pickens going to the Patriots. So I get it. This draft isn't exactly filled with vertical separators like it has been the last couple of years. But Pickens, man, he is a very good athlete. He's very competitive. Excuse me. Holy crap, that sneeze snuck up on me. But he is another one of these contested catch guys. And considering that he tore his ACL, we probably won't see him in this college football season. I don't think it helps. The Patriots, I would address receiver. Maybe Garrett Wilson, I think, kind of fits the mold a bit better than Pickens would. Yeah, man, I'm not in love with this, but I could see Pickens sneaking into the first round just because the guy could blow up the combine. The Minnesota Vikings go Brandon Joseph. I freaking love Brandon Joseph. I think there's 3 safeties in this class that are top 20 picks. Joseph is another guy that's lined up in the slot, in the box, and deep. The guy had 6 interceptions last season. I don't think teams will be throwing his way much this season like they tried to last year. I'm a big fan, Brandon Joseph. And I get it. He comes in with Anthony Harris gone, you kind of got Xavier Woods as this essentially replacement starter, and then Harrison Smith's kind of up there in years. Then yeah, I don't mind them dressing safety position in a class that's got 3 studs at the top. And then the Jets go Treylon Burks. I mean, this one's interesting because it sounds like Denzel Mims, like the Jets just like Saleh and Mike LaFleur aren't very high on Denzel Mims. Maybe he's just not a fit to what they want to do offensively. So they bring in Treylon Burks, who I'm going to have to go back to his tape, man. I don't think he's got a lot of experience being put into motion and whatnot because I expect they'd want more of that. But trying to think of maybe another player that would be fit in here, but one does not come to mind as of right now. I like Burks a lot, though. He's a guy that definitely he's more of a contested catch guy. He needs to fill out his route tree. He's kind of been used specifically in a role there in the slot there at Arkansas. So it'll be interesting. But, man, a guy with his size and speed is rare. The Philadelphia Eagles go Thayer Mumford out of Ohio State. Man, this guy is... he has been around for a minute. I remember going back to the 2020 draft thinking he might come out, but he did take his play to another level last year, and he's looking to come do it again. I don't know if he's a first rounder, but he's a guy that it feels like he's been there forever at Ohio State, but we know with tackles, typically they take about 2 to 3 years to really find out what you got in them. And well, Andre Dillard, he's kind of going to be that this year if he could even win out the starting job. But there, Mumford feels like a guy that once he enters the NFL, he might be plug and play. Might already be at his peak, but I think he could be a quality NFL starter. I don't know if exactly he's first round. I don't necessarily think the upside might be there for him, but I do like him. I do like him a lot, man, especially if he could repeat what he did last year. Watch out. But it's interesting he's got the Eagles going there. But, I mean, if you have 3 first-round picks, then why not? And this is Indy's pick. Good for y'all, Eagles. Some draft sites just aren't doing that. Dallas Cowboys go Daxton Hill out of Michigan. I like Hill. I don't think he's a first-rounder. And, I mean, 4 safeties going to the first round. I don't think we're going to be seeing that happening. But Dallas, yeah, they could use some help there at safety. Donovan Wilson's probably going to be the box guy again. They bring in Kazi, but I feel better about him being this versatile role that you could kind of stick in the box, split high, or have him be your freelancer back there, or you could throw him in the slot. Like, Kazi's very, very versatile. So if I'm the Cowboys, I wouldn't be afraid of drafting another safety in town. But yeah, Hill's good, but I don't think he's necessarily first round good. Then he's got the Browns going Myjah Sanders. I like Myjah Sanders. I think he's got some good get off. Obviously, they got Clowney on a 1-year deal. They also brought in Tack McKinley. He's on a 1-year deal. So they'd be getting a good speed rusher opposite of Myles Garrett. But with Sanders, man, I just want to see I want to see him use his length and his arms and his hands just better. The Baltimore Ravens go Adam Anderson. This is who I would have taken if I were the Browns. Adam Anderson just flies off the ball. I loved Azeez Ojulari's get off. Adam Anderson's is much better, man. Dude's stupid explosive. He's only about 230 something, 230, 235, but he's got the body that can fill out, easy get to that 250, 255 range. We'll see if he can do that this season or maybe during the offseason and retain that explosiveness, because this guy was hard to stop last year. And then Aiden Hutchinson going to the Miami Dolphins. Wow. Hey, respect for them not having the Dolphins take a running back, but I don't know if this is necessarily it. I get that Hutchinson, his game will translate very well to the NFL. He's going to see a lot of success. He just doesn't have that high-end talent you seek for a first-rounder. This is more of a safe pick, it feels like. And yes, they did lose a Shaq Lawson. Well, gave away Shaq Lawson, who was more of an interior presence. That's where he was doing his best pass rushing, was at that 3 to 5 tech range, which Hutchinson probably will be that in the NFL. Dolphins, I might be looking elsewhere, though. Still no other quarterback off the board. That's something to monitor. And then the Detroit Lions, via the Rams, they're going Garrett Wilson. Yeah, they need help at receiver. All they really have is Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's going to be the slot guy. Terrell Williams and Breeland. Yeah, those guys are going to be gone after a year. So, yeah, you need to address it. Garrett Wilson might end up being my top receiver when it's all said and done. Guy's a very polished route runner, good after the catch as well. And then the Green Bay Packers go Zion Johnson. I'm a big Zion Johnson fan, let me tell y'all. This guy, what he's been able to do at left tackle, even though he should be playing guard, has been great. Like, he really, like, after a rough start, he played pretty well down the stretch for Boston College. I think he's supposed to move back to guard. I'm not positive this year for Boston College, but I don't know exactly if he's a first rounder, though. No Tyler Linderbaum, though. That's a bit surprising. And if you're the Packers, you got to feel that offense, or at least that defense, they're going to be losing some big names after this season. At least I think they might. And then at 30, Buffalo Bills, Tyler Linderbaum. Look, he finally came off the board. Say his name enough times, and he just comes off the board. I love Linderbaum. He's my top interior player. I'd be willing to take him inside the top 15. if available and if it's a need. I feel like his stock, in terms of stock, not play style or anything, it could be very similar to Quentin Nelson when he was taken, what, 5th or 6th overall. So, yeah, I like that. Cody, what's his face? Cody Ford, there we go. Hasn't really worked out. And he talks about Marino here. The Bills could try to clear some salary cap space after this season with Mitch Morris and John, Italian last name. Tampa Bay Buccaneers go Kaiir Elam. You can never have enough good corners. Straight up. I like this. Carlton Davis, they were going to have to pay him. And if they don't want to, dude, bring in Elam. Shouldn't be around at this pick. Elam does feel like a top 10 to 15 type of prospect. So this is kind of highway robbery. You're taking best available, especially for Tampa, team that doesn't have too many needs. So, yeah, I like that. And then Jahan Dotson going to the Chiefs. Seems real dangerous. I don't necessarily like this pick just because I'm not that high on Dotson as of right now. I think he's more of a day 2 guy for me just because he's very similar to KJ Hamler in some regards. I think he has better ball skills, Dotson opposed to Hamler. But, yeah, man, I don't know. When you got Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, you're trying to bring another speedster. I don't know. I really like that they brought in Cornell Powell, and plus they're pretty high on Byron Pringle. So I think you could go a variety of different other spots than addressing receiver. Maybe try to get some help on the defensive end. So yeah, I guess this is the part where I say that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. Let me know what you think about Joe Marino's mock draft here. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.